Ladies and gentlemen, what's up tonight? Welcome to episode 15 of the Mayhem Show with Mark May. Long time no see, gentlemen. It is awesome to have you all here tonight. We are rocking out with the Mayhem Show. 15 episodes in, crazy as hell. The first thing I'm going to do is bring in my co-host, Mr. Lewis Perry, coming in tonight from the Angry Geek Show. Lewis, what's up, dude?
What's happening, Mark? The Mark Mayhem Show live, 7 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube and Facebook.
Dude, it is so good to see you tonight. I'm happy you're back. It's awesome to have you back. We missed you last episode. Lewis, the first thing we're going to do tonight before we bring Mr. McDonald on is play the brand new video for the brand new Kickstarter coming in June. I think you haven't seen it yet. Is that right?
No, I haven't. No, I haven't posted, brother. Let's go.
Well, here we go then, my friend. Let me see if I can find it here. Lewis, what did you think of that, my friend?
That was kick out. I love how you get these bands to do your theme songs. That's like freaking amazing, man. Everything. Like Hellpug with the rap and this one.
I actually wrote that song too, Lewis.
No way. Get out of here. You
I
did
wrote
not.
that song, my friend. I sure did.
You did really?
Two of the 6 songs on the Silent Mayhem Productions Hellbringer soundtrack I actually wrote.
I'm digging the soundtrack. I mean, the Angry Geeks, we got our theme song. We just got one. You got like freaking 5 albums, man. And this is amazing. I'm digging it. I'm digging the soundtrack.
I do all the music and all the rights to the music, guys. That is all my music. So working with all the different artists across the world has been awesome. But let's get to the main thing here tonight, guys. We are here to talk to Stephen McDonald.
Toys.
As you guys know, he is from Clan McDonald Comics. Lewis, here's the thing about Stephen is this is going to be one of those shows that's going to be completely different than anything that we've done so far, because so far we've only talked to creators, we've talked to writers, artists, publishers. Tonight we're going to go on the retail side and take a different venture. So I've got questions prepared for Stephen. I know you're going to have questions as well. Let's see what kind of information we can get from the other side of the industry. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Stephen McDonald.
What's up, guys?
What's up, man?
Stephen McDonald.
Sorry for that long intro.
Hey, it's actually pretty cool, man. I'm digging the music. I got to tell you, totally digging the music. The art's awesome, but I love the music. I'm a heavy metal guy from way back, so.
Dude, I really appreciate it. That was one of the songs.
I got something. Mark, can you do me a favor?
Yes, sir.
Put him now. The Angry Geeks, we got a huge announcement coming up soon, and I know this is the Mark Mayhem show, but I gotta plug something really quick.
We have a huge out of it right now.
Okay, we have a huge announcement coming up soon. It's going to be made live on Facebook when we are live from Alternate Universe in Connecticut. But there is a hint, and our guest has a hint of what this announcement has to deal with. And Mark, just give him a solo layout really quick.
Oh, do you have to?
Oh, yes, you do. Yes, you do. Now I'm going to give the Mayhem show an exclusive right now. Mark, just bring him in. I want Steve to have a solo shot. You know how to. Okay. Now, somewhere on this screen right now is a hint of this major announcement that we have to make right here on the Angry Geeks. There is a huge hint on this screen. All right, Mark, bring it back.
Bring it back.
Yes.
Everybody, what's up? Mike DeValfo, Amanda, Esteban, what's up, guys?
You got tons of people commenting here in the comment section, Stephen.
Yeah, I know. Look at that.
Content Credit said, "What's up, guys?" Mark Bryson says, "Definitely a king of this industry and a great guy to do business with." That's true. That's actually how we met. I bought a couple comics from Stephen, and then we ended up. We'll talk about the rest later. You've got a ton of people in here saying hi. Your daughter even says hi.
Yep, she's in here. I saw her. My buddy Russ. Colorist extraordinaire.
Yes, he's the backbone of Hellbringers. I say it all the time. We've enjoyed working together for the last 2 years. He's been one of my all-time favorite friends.
And Rocket Raccoon is in the house. We got Rocket Raccoon in the house, the one and only Amanda. Amanda Thurbo. Yes, she is Rocket Raccoon, one of my favorite cosplayers in the whole wide world. She is Angry Geeks approved. Look at Amanda. How you doing, sweetie? Give your best to my husband as well. Wow, Amanda's awesome. Love her.
There you go, guys. That's all the comments right there. I got you all in for the show, so you guys will all be remembered one day for those.
We shared it. We shared it also, so hopefully we'll bring in a bunch of people from our group to watch it a little bit tonight.
It's going to be awesome.
As if these guys aren't tired of hearing me talk twice a week anyway.
Right. Stephen, let me ask you a question. The first question we always ask all the artists and all the creators is, and this is the most important question of the entire show, where do you like to eat when you're on the road? What is your favorite place to eat as far as food places at a convention? And what is your favorite city to be in to eat?
Kansas City for the food. Kansas City barbecue. Trying to remember the name of the place that I went with Doug Peters. We ate with Doug Peters, Brian Azzarello, Mark Brooks. We all went as a big group. There's is it Stackhouse, I think, is the name of it, if I'm not mistaken, in Kansas City, Missouri. One of the best. That's probably that's the first one that jumps out at me. Other than that, I'm a junk food junkie, man. I'll eat anything Papa John's pizza in the room, whatever. I'm easy.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, that's actually one of my answers too. Lewis knows this. I've said my favorite place in the world to eat is Kansas City for the barbecue.
City, there you go.
Yeah, there's this specific place that just had like beef ribs, pork ribs, and a steak, and all this other stuff it gave you, and it's just a hell of a deal. But
yeah.
All right, let's get into the other questions here. I got the biggest one for you. I think we're going to start it off here with this. When it comes to how you got into the business, can you talk about that a little bit? Like, what got you into the business?
Yep. Absolutely. I actually collected comics all growing up from the time I was probably about 6 or 7 years old. One of my distant relatives, his name is Don Newton. He was a famous artist. And I can remember getting comic books from my mom and dad, picking them up. My mom telling me that Don Newton drew this Phantom comic book. That's probably how I got my start with collecting comics. Collected until I was 18, went to college, and totally sold off almost all of my collection when I got to college. Did not collect again until probably a ballpark of about 10 years ago when my kids started getting into all the DC shows, all the Marvel shows, Flash, Supergirl, Arrow, all of that. Right about when those came out is when they wanted me to start taking them to a comic book store, and I got the bug. Started going to the little conventions in Illinois, not little, but the conventions in Illinois. I bought a truckload on Facebook, just an absolute truckload. I started out with the raffle groups, and then I went into all the Knicks and other comic buying groups.
What year was that?
This would have been probably in the neighborhood of about 2014, 2015. So about 6 years ago. Mm-hmm. I made a great friend in Sean Hidachko, who owns Comics Elite. I'll give him a little plug here. He and I became best of friends. Took me under his wing. I watched what he was doing with the artists, and I'm an artist guy first and foremost. I love the art. I don't read comics hardly ever. I don't have time. I'm an art guy through and through. And I just loved meeting all the artists and hanging out with him at conventions. And I told him this is what I wanted to do eventually also. And he took me under his wing and got me my start, introduced me to a boatload of artists, started making good friends, and it kind of just blossomed from there. Selling comics out of my basement on Facebook. Opened my company in November of 2016. So we'll be coming up on our 5-year anniversary of being an actual, LLC, a company, later this year.
That's awesome, man. Let me ask you a question. When it comes to getting these retail covers that you've gotten, what was your first one?
Oh, all my first ones were with my buddy Murat Michaels. I started out with Hardly Thin. That was my very first one. Was Hardly Thin. We did an X-Men 101, I believe, cover. Was my very, very first one, homage to that. And Murat and I became instant good friends, and we've done probably in the past 5 years, we've probably done about 30 to 40 covers, if not a few more. That'd be a good estimate. And that covers the whole gamut with Murat. I mean, I've done Naughty and Nice. I've done Hardly Thin. I've done the Do You Poos. For him. So that was my beginning with doing my first exclusives, getting my feet wet there.
So
I've done a lot of share exclusives after that. I've done a tremendous amount with Sean McLaughlin with Scorpion. He and I have done shared exclusives before, DCs with Delato, Lucio, a lot of Lucio covers. We've had really good success working together. We have a great, competitor vendor relationship. We're good friends, and that makes for good partnerships.
I completely agree with that. Let me ask you a question. When it comes to choosing your artists that you currently choose now for your covers, what goes into that? Tell us a little bit about the process of a retail cover and what goes into choosing your artist, and also having that artist be accepted by the publisher that you're going to go with.
Well, yeah, it varies based on the publisher. Like I do quite a few Dynamite exclusives. So I try to make sure I'm choosing artists that I feel are going to be accepted immediately. We just did one with Brett Booth and Norm Ratman. I'm sorry, not Norm Ratman, Scott Hanna. So that's one that I'm very proud of. And it was pretty much an automatic. As soon as they saw the idea and the sketch, it was pretty much immediately approved. As far as the Counterpoint Comics ones go, as long as they can, if it's a Hardly Thin, as long as they can draw good boobies, and I got my buddy Mike DeBalfo in here, they're pretty much a shoe-in for the Counterpoint Hardly Thin books. The other guys, everybody else, I go for who I think is going to sell. I'm a business owner first and foremost, so I've got to make sure that I'm trying to. I do try to give people opportunities. I've done some covers, some high-end covers with Esteban Salinas. He's a local artist. I've tried to help people get their feet wet doing covers, just to give it a shot. I mean, the investments are so minimal for especially the Counterpoints, but even Dynamite, they have a 500 book minimum. So that's it. Once you're out that initial artist fee and the cost of the books, it's a small minimum. So I do take a few chances with those, but I typically am going to try to be a smart business owner and make sure I'm going with people that I feel that the group's going to accept and is going to make a lot of good purchases. So I'm not stuck with
absolutely
400
that makes so much sense. And as a publisher now, I kind of realize more and more about the business aspects of it, as opposed to, when I was an artist only, and all I'm thinking is, get work. Right. You know what I mean? Like, now you kind of understand you got to go with who sells. You know what I mean? So I totally get it, man. Lewis, before I ask him our next question, do you have a question for Mr. McDonald here?
Yeah. Did it break your heart when you had to sell your collection?
I don't know if my mom's watching or not. I sold it mostly for pot and alcohol, so it was a stupid sale type of thing. I mean, I left a few comics in it at home when I left, but I took most of them down there with me. I don't know why I did. And as time progressed, 3 to 6 months into college, started running a little bit low on cash and party money. Let's just call it. So I started piecing it off here and there. There was a comic book store down there, so I started piecing off things little by little.
All right, what was your?
Here's my honest statement of the night.
You gotta live to party. I get it. Totally get it.
What was the one book that you sold that you didn't want to sell, but you were like, take it?
At that time, I honestly can't think. Dana, I love my daughters. Yeah, my daughter's watching. She knows her daddy was a rocker. At the time, I can't really think of anything that I'm like, wow, I really don't want to get rid of this. In hindsight, I'll tell you right now, Lewis, there was a ton of books that I did dump that I wish I hadn't, because I grew up. I was born in '67, so I started collecting in '77. So I went through the John Byrne
same time as I did.
The John Byrne X-Men era. I had all the X-Men from 94 up to whatever it was when I stopped collecting. I had Hulk. Yes, I had a Hulk 181. I mean, it's all they're all gone. Somebody benefited from my weaknesses. So
okay,
I can think of a lot of covers like that. A lot of them that are like Giant Size X-Men #1. I'm like, dear God, wish I had that now.
There was
fair enough.
6 books that I got signed by Stan Lee that I had to sell to Tour the Nation to get my own name out there. And dude, if I had them right now, my God, you know what I mean? You think about that sometimes, but then you think about where would you be if you didn't have that? You know what I mean? Right. So I'm kind of happy I did it, because now we got all these books coming out. But it sounds like you're happy, a little bit that you did it, because you got to party. So
yeah, I had a good time in Florida. I enjoyed college. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, where'd you go in Florida? Where'd you go to college?
Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale.
And I cannot wait to get back. Before COVID hit, I was down there about a minimum of 3 times a year visiting, and we're trying to look for a condo in Florida right now, just as a vacation place. We have mixed feelings with my wife. She wants the west coast of Florida. I like the east coast. I don't like going to bed at 8 o'clock at night, like on the West Coast. I'm more of an East Coast Florida guy, but I miss it. I can't wait to get back. Illinois still does not feel like home to me. I joke about it. I've been here for 30 years, and Illinois still does not feel like home. I get off the plane in Florida. I literally walk outside and I breathe in that humidity. I'm home. That's how I feel when I'm down there. So,
as a guy from Alabama, from the beach down there,
yep.
I totally understand. So,
exactly.
But I do love me some Colorado, ladies and gentlemen. You ever been here? You ever been to Colorado?
Oh yeah. I've done Denver Comic-Con before, once, and in Colorado in general, I've been to Aspen and Snowmass skiing before.
Do you like? So
now,
you're more of a skier than a snowboarder?
Yeah, no snowboard. I can't do that. I've tried it on my sons before many years ago. There's no way. I have no balance for that. So, and here's the funny thing: I love the water, but I can't water ski for shit. I can snow ski like crazy, but I cannot water ski for anything. There's just, I think because I learned how to snow ski first, and you're leaning forward, it just totally messes you up when you're water skiing.
Yeah, it's two different things, man.
So yeah.
Hey, we got a question from the audience. Russ Cassidy says, Steve, you have a lot of prized possessions now, especially the wife and kids, but what's the biggie as far as comics go?
As far as comics go, I was very blessed and fortunate to make some very good friends and relationships, and worked doing Stan Lee signings for a number of years. I'm a gigantic Stan Lee fan. I probably have in the neighborhood of about 150 Stan Lee signed books that I accumulated over the years. My Spider-Man #1 is probably signed by Stan, is probably my best and my prized possession. But I do have 10 different Marvel comics from the month and year I was born, March of '67. Different ones: Doctor Strange, Fantastic Four, Avengers, Spider-Man. 10 different comics, all from the same month that I got, all signed by Stan at one convention in Chicago about 4 years ago. Got them graded on site by my buddies at CBCS. Steve Barak and I actually posed for a picture with all 10 of them laid out on a pool table at a local bar that Sunday. And those 10 comics, I really took my time getting high grades. And I think the lowest grade out of those 10 12-cent comic books was a 7.5, and they go all the way up to 9.4. So out of those 10 comics, it's a broad range, but I really took my time getting good quality covers for my 50th birthday. That was my present to myself.
So let me ask you a question here. What's your all-time favorite comic book then? Like, I know you said that your most valuable might be that Spider-Man #1, but what's your all-time favorite?
It's probably got to be that one. Probably got to be my Spider-Man #1. Yeah, it's a Spider-Man #1, 3.5, signed by Stan. Followed immediately with my Hulk 181, 8.5. Signed by Stan, John Romita Sr., and Herb Trimpe. That's probably my second one.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's absolutely insane.
Thanks. Hey, look at that. And it's got our first 10.0. I got to digress for a second. I saw somebody slamming grading companies the other day that how can they be giving out all these 9.9s? And I was looking at the people commenting that got the 9.9s and the 10.0s. Most of those people are buying books from like Polito with Coffin Comics, Counterpoint Comics, all the Ryan Kincaid comics, the Persuasions, everybody that's using Artist Express for their printing. Those guys just crush the printing. And it's like, they're saying there's no way these books, they could be dishing out all these 9.9s and 10.0s. Like Amanda's gotten a couple of 10, she's gotten a 10.0 from us. Those guys, it's not like Marvel and DC printing. It's a totally different world. Much more limited runs, much more cares given. So you see a lot of those smaller companies putting out quality your stuff, putting out quality product where you're
my my books are printed by Stephen Crawford from Heroes, Villains, and Designs, and he gets 9.9s and 10.0s all the time. With small print runs, it seems like you have a better chance than bigger print runs
Exactly.
to get these. So, and these two these two printers that we just talked about are incredible printers. So, if anybody's listening out there, those two guys are where it's at. Stephen, Lewis had a question for you again. I noticed it just a second ago. Lewis, what were you going to say, brother?
A truck ran me over today. I forgot.
Yeah, it did. Do you have that video? Can we show it on here?
No, I cannot play that video.
No, you can't play the video? That was a good
No,
video.
I can't.
That was a good video.
But honestly, a truck ran me over today, and I forgot. But today's printing is different from printing back in the day. Steve, you know that. Now, my question for Steve was, you and I, we're kind of kindred spirits. I am always looking for books from the year I was born, the month I was born, so on and so forth. When you find something that you don't have, it's so, well, how do you feel? I mean, I feel like the heavens open up for me, and I was like, oh my God.
And I'm going to,
isn't it?
Yeah. And I'm going to go a different direction with that too. So I still collect comics. They're still my favorite characters that I still will do things. I do a tremendous amount of sketch covers for a lot of my personal stuff that I'm buying. There's still a few out there that I dream of owning one day. I still dream of having my Amazing Fantasy 15, just a few of those types of books. But I got to tell you, I have totally fallen in love with collecting art, original art. Over the past year, I've accumulated so many art pages, covers from comics. I have just really gotten into it. The more I see them in person for my customers, the more I just drool over it. I mean, like I said before, I am first and foremost an art guy when it comes to comics. I look at the covers. I buy a lot of comics, and I get them signed or I get them blue labeled based on how cool I think the cover is. Of a comic book. So it still drives right back to that art factor of it. I'm an art nut through and through. But I've gotten a really nice collection of original art pieces over the course of the past year.
I think for most comic collectors as a kid, and I'm going to speak from my own personal experience, is I judged a book by its cover. I went to, before LCSs became a thing, because you, like me, I was born in 68. So LCSs growing up in the early 70s, they were far and in between. So you had to go to your supermarkets, you had to go to your pharmacies or your five and dimes, and that's where the comics were. And I always judged a book by its cover. If the front cover was cool and it was something I can copy as a kid wanting to be an artist, that's the book I bought. So I was always gravitating toward Gil Kane. I was always gravitating toward Kirby, you know, and then of course as I got older, it was Neil Adams, John Byrne, etc., Len Wein, or Bernie Weinstein. But it's like, as a kid, you do judge a book by its cover. So what was that first book that hit you and you were like, oh, I need to have it. That's my thing.
It's going to probably be, some of my top favorite artists. That would have been what jumped out at me. I'm a huge Lucio Perillo fan. Just about everything that guy produces, I go crazy, and I have to have a copy of it. There's way too many nowadays. But I grabbed this for you real quick. You were talking about, is there things that just like, when you get something like, oh, the heavens opened up and you just got this. I looked into this by seeing this on eBay. This is an old printing plate. Teen Titans #2.
Wow.
George Perez. And I couldn't pass it up. I overpaid for it, but it's one of those things where I'm like, I gotta have that in my collection. I do not have any old metal printing plates. I got it. I flattened it out as much as I possibly could, and it's going to go up to my next to my George Perez 9.6 signed comic book on the wall here.
Nice.
Look at that.
That's incredible.
Isn't that
awesome?
Is
a thing of beauty.
Yeah,
I've actually never seen one of those. I've never seen one of the original printing plates for a comic cover before. I've only seen them for cards.
Well, I guess where it was done was in Indiana, and this guy is like a fourth or fifth generation of the family that had all these plates. but he said most of them were melted down. There's a, if you look on eBay for comic plate, there's only like one seller, and it's this guy from this particular company that used to make them all. And who knows if it's BS or not, but he's got a whole story on every single listing that explains how he has these. He did keep some of them, that didn't get thrown away or get melted down and everything. So, like I said, who knows see, Jesse said the same thing. Yeah, a lot of them got destroyed, melted down, for the metal aspect of it. Nobody thought they were going to be worth anything, I guess.
That's
now,
insane.
Steve, yeah. Amanda wants you to come to Rhode Island Comic Con. Are you going to be coming this way so we can meet in person?
Yeah, I will be at Terrificon. That's going to be my first convention since C2E2 of last year. So Terrificon in the end of July will be my very first convention back on the road again. I mean, that's what I did.
What about Rhode Island Comic Con? What about Rhode Island?
When is that? When is that one?
November.
That's a possibility. November's fine. I mean, I actually wasn't even going to do anything until C2E2 next December. I was going to let everything die down. I have my reasons for that, but I was going to let everything just die down and get everybody as healthy and clean as humanly possible before he did anything. We haven't even opened my store up. We are going to stay. We're going to stay closed for the entire year. I mean, 95%, 98% probably of my business is online sales anyway. Local presence basically are local customers that like picking up and coming and hanging out for a little while. So I'm thinking Terrificon's going to be my first step, and then we'll look at September, October, November, and then of course C2E2 will be my second one.
So I will definitely be at Rhode Island Comic Con. I cannot wait for that. I cannot wait for shows to come back, period. I've got all these books to sell people, and the only place to do it is for shows.
It's crazy, I mean, in my industry, we were very, very blessed in the following that we had, that when COVID hit, the following plus the relationships that I had built over the years, I was still able to accommodate a lot of my customers getting their books signed, because I had, very good relationships with creators that would allow me to box them up, ship them to their homes. They could sign them in their pajamas, get them back to me in a couple of weeks. So I was very lucky there. I mean, that's always been a major foundation for my business, was the signings and the exclusives for it. So COVID, I hate to say it, COVID was great to us as a retailer. People started taking advantage of my pull box service. They couldn't go into comic book stores for several months until they started slowly opening up and letting people come in or meet at the door. Like the local comic book shop here, you could meet at the door. They would put stuff outside. You would call from your car, and then they would put it out on a bench out front, and you could pick up your pulls, after they finally, went back into the shops and worked.
Yeah, that's what one of my sponsors did. One of my sponsors, thanks, he had curbside service. He had to call, go to the shop, and they made it through. Plus we did live online auctions, which is my next question for you. Mm-hmm. How do you choose what you're going to auction off when you do your onlines? I see them. I haven't bought anything yet. Sure. I'm very picky, but I do tune in. I do watch. How do you choose what product you're going to put out there? How do you choose, okay, we're going to do this book, we're going to do this book, we're going to do this. How do you choose it? Is it back stock, or do you just throw a dart at a board?
Here's what's really cool about the way we operate. We're constantly evolving. We used to do on Wednesday nights, we would literally have all of our new releases laid out on tables, and we would do new release claims. Then we started finding out, probably about like 6 months ago, we started finding out that, hey, let's save the new releases and just put them on a claim post and let people claim them, so they don't have to sit here and watch a video. They can claim them, at midnight, 2 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock, whatever. And then we started devoting more time to our other products live. We do a major split. I have an amazing business partner in Spencer Beck, with the Artist Choice. He and I are best friends. We do so much together.
Spencer's a great guy.
Original art.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go in a different direction here for a second too on that. I started working with Spencer at the very, very beginning of COVID, with my first private George Perez signing that was not done at a convention where I had to scramble and go and stand in line 5 times a day. George, Spencer reps George and works with him. So my first signing was last April with Spencer. That's how we got a relationship. We started working together, and then holy cow, his entire corral of like 100 artists or more was amazing. So then we started offering everybody else that he has. Then we took it another step. We started bringing in original art into our live sales. And then we got to get all those people that were in a totally different world. Like I said, I've specialized in exclusive variant covers, new releases, and graded books for so many years. Well, now we just tapped into a totally different market. Okay. And this is not me patting myself on the back or anything, but the one thing that I can take away from the entire year of COVID is how much we have helped artists that had no money coming in whatsoever because they could not go to conventions. And that, to me, we all like making money. Spencer likes making money. I like making money. You guys like making money when you're selling. But to me, that was the biggest bonus that I got out of all of this, is that I was helping people. I won't name names or anything, but it's like I was helping an artist that couldn't pay his freaking mortgage. So we would do a sketch op and sell maybe, and it could have been small. It could have been 1,500, excuse me, or it could have been 3,000 worth of sketches, that we were able to help them, pay bills because they couldn't go to conventions to sell their prints.
Yeah, Spencer is a great cat. I loved him. Had him on my show my other show a few times. He, the service that he does is for legends is just phenomenal. I have such great respect for Spencer.
Thanks, Jesse.
Quick Spencer story is Spencer knew I was a huge Jim Aparo fan. God rest. Okay. And we were at a convention, and he's like, Lewis, that lady standing next to you? I'm like, yeah, that's Jim Aparo's widow. Floored me. That was like, oh my God, Spencer, you're amazing. Yeah, I knew you wanted to meet her. It was just an honor. Just for me to tell her the joy her husband's art brought to me was just fantastic. Spencer is a great guy, man. Much respect and much love for him.
Yeah, he is. He has a heart of gold. He really does. I'm actually sending him a text to come watch this. I don't know if he's watching right now or not. He has a heart of gold, and it shows. I know you guys got other questions for me, but I'm going to tell you something that he spearheaded. Actually, Jamie Jameson, it was her idea going back about 3 months ago. She is really good friends with Linda Blair, and Linda Blair owns and operates the Linda Blair World Heart Foundation, which is a shelter for animals out in California. And Jamie had the idea. She's actually done a few sales with us that went all the money, like $2 or $3 grand, went to Linda's organization. Well, she came up with the idea because of her friendship with Spencer. He ran with it. We got, I want to say, a ballpark of about 25 to 30 artists donate sketches, paintings, you name it. Our members donated stuff, whether it was a comic book, a graded book, a piece of art, or whatever. And between Spencer, Jamie, and my awesome members in my group, we raised $38,000 for Linda Blair's World Heart Foundation. Wow! And we got to have Jamie go out with the check. Jim Starlin actually is living out there temporarily right now. So Jim drove Jamie over to Linda's place and presented the check to Linda. And we had Linda live for almost an hour. She was talking with us and everything, and it was just amazing. And that's the kind of stuff that Spencer does. I mean, we just took it and ran with it. We were going to be happy if we made $10,000, and it just went ballistic. Some of the pieces went for like $3 or $4 grand, but everybody contributed. The members, donations, people bidding on stuff, even if they maybe didn't even really want it in their collection, they were doing it to give something. It was awesome.
That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
That's simply incredible.
I know, right, Andy? I'm sorry, I'm missing a lot of comments too. I'm horrible at this. I'm not a good interviewer.
You're not supposed to be reading the comments, so you're all good, my friend.
Good. But Andy nailed it, though. It was awesome. Jim Starlin was our cameraman. He sat there for almost an hour and a half holding a phone up to take the live video feed.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Mark, what else you got?
I got a ton, my friend. We got about 15 minutes left here for Lewis. So here's the deal. I mean, you've actually given a ton of insight to your side of the business so far. All the questions that we've asked you have secretly been, to have you tell us more and more about your side of the business, and everything is even up to, the question of what was your favorite comic has, told us about how you got into the business, even in a way. So my questions are: we all know what you've done now and what you have going on. What are you going to do now? What's next for Clan McDonald Comics? Why don't you tell us that?
Sure. I don't know how many people know this, but I still work a 9-to-5 job. I work full-time selling wire and cable in the electrical industry to electrical contractors. I've been doing it for 25 years, and I run this business at nights. And if I can do it later, DeBalfo, thanks, buddy. And so I do what I can during the day when I'm trying to sell people wire and cable in between calls and so forth. But my goal, and hopefully nobody from my company is listening, my goal is within a year is to retire and do this full time. Once I feel comfortable in doing that and leaving a cushy salary and the benefits. That's the kicker, the benefits. I have 2 kids. I have kids living at home, and my wife, who's a cancer survivor, and myself, and those benefits, the health and medical and dental, that's tough to walk away from. Tough to walk away from.
It is tough.
So go ahead, Lewis.
Steve, once again, universes combined. You said earlier you collect yada yada yada. You collect comics from the year that you were born, the month you were born. Now you're telling me that you work in wire and cable. My entire career up until where I am right now was all wire and cable. I ran an extruder.
No kidding. Really? For what company? May I ask?
Really? What was that?
May I ask for what manufacturer?
Quabbin Wire and Cable and Cubit Wire and Cable. I was the general manager for Cubit before we sold.
I used to sell Quabbin cable for years. Quabbin and Belden, two of the biggest names in the industry. We were all. I
worked at Quab. It's crazy, small world, man.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I worked at Quabbin from like 89 to 2000, and then I moved over to Cubit. And once Cubit closed, I'm where I am right now.
Sure.
So it's small world. Holy cow!
It's crazy. But yeah, this is these dudes are laying like DeBalfo. It's I've been doing it for many years. And it's time to move on. My goal, my son's going to college in the fall, so I know that's going to be a major expense for the next 4 years. He's going to Purdue University, which is not a cheap college. And again, it's the benefits. So I just want to be smart. We're doing great. I'm I'm not religious, but I say I'm blessed. I'm very, very lucky in what I've built. I'm able to take care of my family. My daughter lost her job due to COVID, or could not get a job during COVID. So I was able to hire her full time and support my daughter. My son works for me full time. My daughter's boyfriend works for the company part time. And I have a really, my wife works here part time. She comes in and does labels. I'm very, very lucky in what we've built. And I want to make sure that I have a really good foundation moving forward, because I want to retire and do this full time and try to open up Clan McDonald Southeast. So
there you go. Dana, what your dog heard was Kara the super dog. That's right. My dog is Kryptonian, just like me, named after Kara. So that's what the dog. Awesome. I just. What small world! Holy cow!
Steven, why don't you tell me a little bit about this?
This, guys, fell into my lap. I have yet to do my very own by myself Clan McDonald Comics Marvel variant.
Ooh.
This was offered to me. I did not even hesitate when it was offered. Say, hey, Joe Jusko's got a Captain America cover. He's soliciting to see if anybody wants to pick it up. I said, I want it. It's mine. I own it. I jumped on it. So this is coming out in June, United States of Captain America. We are doing 2 different versions. We are doing the standard classic trade dress Captain America, and we will also be offering a version that we're hoping the mock-ups come back the way we like it. It'll be a corner box style Joe Jusko cover. I'm a huge Joe Jusko fanboy, so it's been great working with Joe on this and talking to him. My only disappointment in this whole cover is that he already sold the original, because I love owning my originals on my covers. But I'm super thrilled about this one. This is going to be a big one for us. It's our very first exclusive Marvel where I am not partnered up with anybody. It's all mine. So other than me helping my vendor buddies and my my competition buddies out offering bulk packs, this is going to have my logo on the back. It's going to be all mine. So I'm extremely over the top excited about this one.
That's so huge, Russ, man. You have no idea how big that is. That's absolutely incredibly huge, my friend.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks. Russ says it looks like a Marvel masterpiece card, and it definitely does. Rob just says claim, but let's just erase that comment. He can't claim. If anybody gets it, it's going to be me. So that is beautiful.
Thanks. I mean, who better to have as your first artist on a Marvel exclusive? It's like, I mean, there's a handful out there that I could say would be up there with them. But come on, man, I can say this for the rest of my life.
It looks good. This is the big thing, is it actually looks great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's not just a name. This cover is solid as fuck. It's amazing.
Yep. We're doing a nice signing. We're not doing a nice signing with Joe around July 4th. So it's going to be a very patriotic theme. We're doing a private signing with Joe for my company and with Comic Con Line, another group of dealers that I'm associated with. So it's going to be an awesome opportunity for everybody. And the other cool thing about that book, sorry, I'm going to go back to it. Guess what else I get to do? I get a dual signed, because Dale Eaglesham did the interior art, and that's my buddy Spencer's guy. So we're getting dual signature opportunities for everybody on this book. So you're not even going to get Joe, you're going to get Joe and Dale on the signings on it. So
wow.
Sorry,
that's fantastic. No, you're fine. You're fine. I was trying to move on while we were talking because we've got a few more to show. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this one right here, Stephen?
Brett Booth, Scott Hanna. I couldn't ask for 2 more awesome guys. If I can do this, I will show you my original pencil. I've got it. Just got dropped off today. I've got the original pencils on this, and then when you show the color, you can see what Scott did, and he took this and ran with it. He did a gray line or a blue line of it, and just ran with it, and added more goodies to the background, the dragon stone and everything on that cover. It's a gorgeous hand painted piece by Scott Hanna.
Scott's coloring is just amazing. Scott is another super cool cat, man. Love working with Scott.
Big time.
He's funny, he's witty, and look at the talent right there. I mean, just unbelievable.
He's known as an inker extraordinaire, and until you learn more about him, you have no idea how much fine art skills this guy actually has.
Absolutely.
He's forgotten more about art than most of any other artist is ever going to learn. It's amazing. He does classes. I mean, he's just an all around super nice guy to work with. I love him. I love him to pieces. And you got my last one. That's the one right there, baby. So this one means the world to me. I'm going to make you jump for 1 second, because Nick Barucci and I worked very well together. We worked together selling product together. I don't know if you can see this. About 2 weeks ago, Nick Barucci surprised me live and gave me this original art by Ken Heiser, Buzz, and Blair Smith on colors. Actually, Blair did the colors on this eventually. I was bawling my eyes out. Nick just wanted to do something nice to me, but Ken put my ass on a cover. The Highlander, There Can Be Only One with Vampirella. Demons everywhere. I'm slicing the shit out of demons. Blood splatters everywhere. So Nick's idea was to give me this cover and do a giveaway for all my customers. We're going to do 200 copies for my customers in black and white and give them away to the first 200 people that claim them. So I called him up afterwards. I'm like, well, can I get it colored and do a cover out of it? So that's what you got to show that again. So that's what we ended up going with. If you can pop the cover back up, we added the bubble. My big slogan for my company, being a Scottish driven company, is there can be only one. Huge Highlander geek. So move over, Vampirella. There can be only one. Stand aside. So we're going to do a trade dress version, a virgin version, and then the black and white will be free for my customers. First 200 people to claim it when I post it up.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. And those three guys are great. And everybody's going to shit their pants when they find out what the signing is for all three of those guys to sign it. It's basically free. That's how cool Ken, Buzz, and Blair are. They just want to get it in people's hands and support Clan McDonald Comics, myself, and do something nice. So other than shipping back and forth, it's about the biggest expense there is. So
beautiful. When you see someone put you on a cover of a book or inside a book and they surprise you with that, I get what you mean by your eyes are watering, you get emotional.
Oh, yeah.
When that happened to me, I was just freaking floored. I was like, you guys can, that's just one of the greatest honors of all, especially to be surprised by it. They open up the page.
I was totally taken. Yeah, I had no clue. He was Nick was persistent as hell. He had to go on the show that day, and I thought it was he just wanted to do a normal Saturday sale with me and everything. And him and Spencer came on together and presented that to me. And like I said, my daughter was here. My daughter's boyfriend was here. We were all here, and the tears just started flying. He wanted to do something nice for me for what I've done for the artist and the industry in the last few years, and that was his way of saying thanks. And they just crushed it. They absolutely crushed it.
That's awesome.
It's an amazing feeling to be surprised with something like that.
Yeah.
All right, guys, it is 7:57 right now, which means it is time to wrap this show up. We have been doing this for about an hour. Steve, you're going to have to come back on here again and do this again.
I'm going to shoot. I got to do it, man. I got to plug my company. You guys got to hit www.clanmcdonaldcomics.com. I am a private group. It is my private group business page. It's findable unless you've been blocked. It's findable. Clan McDonald Comics on Facebook. That is where we do 90% of our business. We direct people to the website for a lot of stuff, but please check us out. Check out our pull box service. Subscribe on our website for our email. Signings, guys. That's still my bread and butter. Go to my signings page and look at all the amazing talent we've got coming up in the next few months. Kevin Eastman, Alan Kwok, Kyle New, you name it. We just did a huge signing with Bill Sienkiewicz. We still are bringing so many great talents to you guys. Mark, thank you for asking me to do this. Like I said before, I could ramble on forever. I'm very, very proud of my family and what they do to help me succeed. But I'm extremely proud of all of. Oh, look at my daughter! See, she's kicking ass. That's my girl. She's putting the link up. She got daddy's back. The whole family, but the group themselves. I have an amazing client base. Everybody jokes I'm a big bad bully. They call me McBaster because I get pissy if people don't pay their invoices. I'm probably one of the only sellers in the industry that invoices and allow people anywhere from a week to 4 weeks to pay. And that's the only time I get grumpy is when people take advantage of me. But I'm the easiest guy to work with. We love doing what we do, and we try to be the best that we can be. That's all we can do.
Well, it's been amazing having you, my man. Like, thanks, seriously, brother. Like it's absolutely awesome to have you here. I'm happy you said yes. Please come back on the show because I know we can fill another hour talking about this. And I know you have so much coming up that you're probably going to look back at this someday, look at that warehouse behind you and be like, oh my God, that was our first tiny warehouse, and we're going to have this huge, gigantic one in Southern Florida someday. So it's really cool to see where you've come. I've known you this entire time. Let's talk about that for just a second. When was the first time me and you met? Was it Vegas?
Vegas was first. Yes. Vegas.
We had dinner together, which was awesome.
Yep.
I learned a lot from you personally over the past few years. You have been awesome, and as far as getting books and stuff like that, I've actually ordered books through Clan McDonald, guys. I started out as a customer. He's got great services, so please check them out. There's a reason we still talk after all these years. He's been one of those guys that you can trust as far as what he says he's going to do. He can do it. You understand what I'm saying? So that's one of those you really look for in a seller for comic books, guys. So please check it out. I'd like us to have a retail cover someday, Mr. McDonald, if we ever get a chance. That would be amazing.
You got it.
And Lewis, did you have anything else you wanted to say to?
It's nice to meet you too, Lewis. I don't think we've ever met at
a convention.
We might have seen each other in passing, but I don't believe we've ever met directly. So it's nice to meet you, sir.
First of all, I'm not a sir. That's my dad and my grandpa. Tower of Power, too sweet to be sour. Clan McDonald Comics, too hot to handle, but too cold to hold. Whoa. Find them on Facebook and find them and buy.
No, you can't leave. You didn't do the voice. You got to start it over. You got to do it again.
And you got to,
brother, I got hit by a truck today, man.
You have to.
I don't care if you got hit by a truck. You can't hit a button.
You got to toss that in there somewhere, Lewis. Come on.
I got hit by a truck today, brother. You know what I'm saying? The Macho Man Randy Savage. Yeah, I can't really do it. I'm getting a little bit tired, but yeah, Clan McDonald Comics. Yeah, find them online. Dig it. I got hit by a truck, Mark. Come on.
I mean, it still did it. Still did it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Just did it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Lewis.
What?
Thanks for hanging in there tonight, brother. Thanks for doing the show. Thanks for coming on with Steven.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I will see you later.
Absolutely. Steve, don't go anywhere. I want to, after we sign off, don't go anywhere. I want to talk to you really quick. All right, Mark. See you next week.
Hold on, Steven.
Yep.
Steven.
Yeah,
back to everything that we were talking about. I got one last question for you because Lewis always gets off at 8. So do you have time to stick around for a couple more?
Yeah.
Okay. We got 2 more that I didn't get to because I let Lewis ask the question. So I wanted to ask you this. When you're looking for a project as far as an independent comic to make a cover for, like a retailer cover for, what is something that you're looking for when you do it?
Well, I kind of alluded to it. I go for what I think is going to sell in the group. I do take chances. I'll take a chance once on just about anything and see how my customers bite. You know what I mean? I did, Antonio D. I let him do he wanted to do a Clan McDonald Changeling cover. We did Bark at the Moon. Or Howl at the Moon, Ozzy Osbourne. It was Blizzard of Oz. Blizzard of Oz. It sold okay. Does it mean I'm not going to do another one with them? No. But is it going to be high on my priority for doing another cover right away? No. I might do one every couple of years with them. I'm always thinking about what I think is going to be able to sell and my customers are going to dig. I don't like having a lot of extra stock. I can do, and you and we could do one. You know what I mean? If you've got a particular cover that you want to do, I'm always willing to invest up to $1,000 and give something a whirl. And with the
here's the thing: I would never publicly come on here and tell you what I wanted to do. That would be something that me and you could talk about. You know what I mean? Behind the scenes,
right?
I've already had a couple of retailer covers for Hellbringers. So Shannon Mayer actually did a retailer cover for Comics Mint, and then I just did a retailer cover for myself, which was an Amazing Spider-Man 300 homage for Legends Fresno out in California. As far as Hellbringers goes, man, I would love to do one with you. So that would be cool someday if we can do it. But when it comes,
with me bringing you an artist, or are you using one of yours, or how do you mean, or you in particular?
It all depends. Here's the funny thing about me is all I ever wanted to do was covers. You know what I mean? You know me. Like, that's all I ever wanted to do was covers.
Right.
And then I got the opportunity to do it. And then all of a sudden I became a publisher while I'm in those first 2 years of being a cover artist. And now it seems like I can't draw as much as I used to.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So I am still doing my own covers, but I just don't get a chance to do it as much as I'd like. So it's always one of those special opportunities. As far as like other publishers and stuff like that, dude, Vampirella is always going to be at the top of the list. If I ever got a chance to do a Vampirella cover, like, I might retire the day after. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. I got a Vampirella #1, dude. Like, that was my big Holy Grail book from back in the day.
Show me some prelims. Okay. Show me some prelims in your convenience. No pressure, no rush or anything. I could do a cover a month if I wanted to.
Really?
I don't, because it's 500 issues.
Right.
It's minimum of $2 a piece for the printing plus the artist fee. So I'm looking at a bare bones minimum, usually at $1,250 to $1,500 just to do that single virgin, cover. So in the grand scheme of things, it's a low investment, but making that $1,500 back
you
up.
Want to make your money back. You always want to make your money back.
Exactly. So that's why I don't do it monthly. I just don't do covers to do covers and have inventory sitting around.
I don't blame you at all. The good thing is about me, and you know this, I have not hounded you about doing covers and stuff like that. Right. I've asked maybe a couple times or something like that in the 5 years that I've known you. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm not even going to ask here now. Like, even if I just alluded to that would be in, the cover that I wanted to do. Yes, if I get time, I'm definitely going to send you those because that's the opportunity that I want.
Yeah, do that, man. Because I can get you on a Vampirella pretty easily, as long as they approve my prelims. We're in like Flint, so don't worry about that.
Oh, that's amazing. I can't wait to talk to my fiance about that after the show.
Are we still live?
We are still live, Steven. I never shut the show off. So that's what I was telling you. I didn't want to see that's okay. So here's the deal. Like a book like Hellbringers, like, since we're talking about it right now, since this is like a published book, if you ever wanted to do a cover like that, we could try to make it work to where maybe it's a smaller print run, so I know you get your money back.
Sure.
You know what I mean? That's something that we could do too. But, and this is from the outside looking in, you want to ride an artist wave of momentum because that one wave might be the only wave they ever have. Is that right?
Yes. True.
So let's say I'm at the top of my wave right now. You know what I mean? This might be the best time for us to work together. You know what I mean? So that sounds like I should definitely message you when we're done with all this.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But what I was going to ask you, the last question, you just got me involved there for a second, Steven. So I lost train of thought for this last question because you really sucked me in there with that last one, dude.
Sorry.
Here's the thing. Steven bought one of the Lady Death blanks from me when I was one of the first people. I might have been the first person ever, I don't know, that did a Lady Death blank. And it had a Silent Mayhem Productions logo on it. And Steven bought one of these covers from me. It was a 1 of 10. Do you still have that?
I probably do, still floating around at the house or here. You want me to try to look for it one day or something?
I think it's crazy, like how much my art has progressed since then.
Yeah.
But at the time, you loved it. I did a like Highlander version of Lady Death.
Oh, cool.
Do you remember? And I did it on that cover for you.
I remember.
Dude, you loved it, and you messaged me. So all the stuff he's talking about like supporting artists and stuff like that, he's done it. That's why I wanted to keep him around here for this last little bit here and talk about what he's done for me. Anytime I have a Kickstarter, he shares it in the group, guys.
That's the one thing. If I can't, there's certain things, like if I can't invest in things, I at least try to help out, everybody. There's certain people that attempt to, all they do is they try to do advertising on my page, and I have to shut them down, and say, hey, you can't be doing this. But I try to help everybody out, at least once every few months, help them out if they've got something. That's just it, man. I wasn't bullshitting. This whole last year, I felt really good about what we were able to do for the smaller artists as well as the bigger artists, because we were able to help a lot of people pay bills, just because of our relationships and our group that loved art or loved comics. So it's been fun.
Steven, I got to tell you something.
Yeah.
The comment section is doing exactly what I wanted it to, because tonight, one of the main things I wanted to talk to you about was showing everybody how this works. The symbiosis between a retailer like yourself, a publisher like me, or an artist, and how a cover seems to be formed. The conversation that we just had 5 minutes ago pretty much shows exactly that.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, that was my main goal on this entire show. And I was going to be really sad if we weren't able to kind of get something like that out. But you literally just showed a ton of people how this process works in comics.
Yeah, and we we try to be, hey, all hail the Godfather's in the house. I always try to be upfront. I mean, we always joke about it. We all want to make money. We always want to be smart about what we're doing, but at the same time, we want to help everybody else around us. We want everybody else to like us and appreciate what we do. And I'm a huge, firm believer in karma. Gigantic believer in karma. If you're going to treat people right and give them opportunities that they might not otherwise have had, or whatever, that shit comes around, and it pays tenfold back in the end.
Well, I mean, you know me, I talk you up all the time. So
thanks.
It's one of those, you scratch my back, I scratch your back kind of things, and you have. And if you don't, but you still want me to scratch yours, you can go to hell. You know what I mean? So
I love it. Everybody. Everybody's all commenting now. Spencer's in the house. That's awesome.
Yeah, Spencer back in the house, guys. Steven, I am gonna show the video that we showed at the beginning of the show one more time from my new Kickstarter, Hellbringers: The Ties That Bind Us.
Do it.
It's coming out June 28th. Would you like to watch it with me?
Yeah, go ahead, man. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere.
So I wrote this song, Steven. It's crazy. Like, the whole Hellbringer soundtrack is, I'm going to try to get it on CD and put it out on these shows and stuff. And it goes along with all these different Hellbringers comics that we've put out, and the Jim Garden Shred comic and the Hellpug comic that just came out. So let me show that off real quick.
I can still headbang, man.
Yeah, you can.
Just ask my daughter about that.
Lucio.
Yeah.
Right there. We just signed a few bigger artists today, so
yeah.
We haven't added those to the video yet.
We'll do a cover together, man. Yeah, you can either pick your own artist, or we can do one with you if you've got the time, or I'll try to come up with a couple of guys that have been trying to get in my back door to do a cover, maybe.
Sure. Let me think about it. We'll come up with something. I wanted to show you something Mr. Russ Cassidy came up with. This is the backup logo for Hellbringers. The ties that bind us.
I love it. I love it. That's Russ.
Oh, I love working with Russ on a daily basis, guys, because I get shit like that. So I'm just saying that literally made my week when I saw that, man. Russ is the man.
Can I just catch a comment here that cracks me up? Mark Bryson still has his long hair saved in a bag. Dude, that's just wrong.
Yeah, what the fuck, Mark? I wasn't going to bring this up.
That's just wrong,
man. What's up with this?
I say that, but when I finally go bald, my forehead's already starting to recede, and I've still got, pretty good length. But when it finally goes, I shouldn't say anything because I'm probably going to do the same fucking thing.
I wish I had hair, y'all. I get it. I
That's
got more
right,
hair on my back than I do on my head.
Yeah, I could always go to Spencer and say, hey, pick one, Spence.
All right, guys. This has been the Mayhem Show with Mark May with our special guest, Mr. Stephen McDonald. Do you have any final words, my friend, before we hop off here for the evening?
No. I love that everybody joined us tonight. Anybody new that's not familiar with us, check us out. We're not going to be for everyone. We're going to be for most. We're probably one of the fairest, most easygoing companies that you will ever deal with. And we're also going to be the most helpful to get you what you want, especially if you're into art and variant covers. We work with them, and we push it. So check us out.
Some of the best ones out there. So that's the other thing too, guys. And he's already told you, Clan McDonald Comics on Facebook, clanmcdonaldcomics.com. Go check him out. Stephen, did you see the video? Did you see the video for my last Kickstarter?
Not the last one, no.
You got 1 minute?
Yeah, go, man. I'm easy. I'm good.
Well, who's the big bad boss? I'm the big bad boss. And my name is Hellput. Talk a lot of shit when I walk. I just walk around with a bad mood. My attitude, that's bad too. If the queen said I'ma bust a move, if you cross her, I'ma bust you too. Lilith said I gotta go away to find a husband and my daddy, yeah. On a special mission, I complete the mission, always ready for a battle, eh? Find Lucifer, then bring him back. Think I gotta jump on where he hiding at. But first I gotta move the queen to a safer place where ain't nobody riot at. That's a 10-4, buddy, roger that. About to hit the city, I'll be right back. Yeah, the city of Los Angeles to a castle town where nobody at. Hold up, what is this that I see? A Velocicock, half raptor, half cop. Run up on them with them things cop. And around in the chamber that bang cop. Oh, now this getting crazy. Somebody else done appeared. And it look like it's a rhinoceros Rex. Me and Velocicock, we have a threat. And my God, there's another now, we have a mess. And this one's an elephantitis. Me and Velocicock must be united. Kapow, kaplooey, we fighting. We striking them quicker than lightning. It's history, put it in writing.
That's awesome, man. I love it.
Thanks, Steven. Dude, your face, like that was the moment that I needed right there. The way your face went up as you, like, when you heard Velocicock and you realized he's half raptor, half chicken, I was like, oh my, yes. Because I could see it on your face, dude. That was the best feeling in the world right there.
Awesome, man.
So thank you so much for joining me. Thanks for watching the vids. Thanks, dude. I mean, it's been one of the best shows, if not the best show for the Mayhem show, dude. This is the best one I think we've ever had. The most informative for sure. So we're gonna have to do this again.
I tell it like it is too. I mean, I don't hold punches. I mean, I will always be straight and up front with people. You know, some people get rubbed the wrong way. It's not meant to be that. It's not meant to be that way via text or typing. But sometimes people just get rubbed the wrong way with how I say it. This is how it is. This is how I do it. Don't ask me to deviate. This is the way we run our business. Blah 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 blah.
I think the best part is that you get to the point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody has time for all that other shit.
Joe, yeah. Oh, yeah, Mr. What's the word I'm looking for? Nonconformist right there, Joe Bryan. I kid Joe. He's an awesome customer. He pays his bills perfectly on time. But I kid him. You know, I put these gigantic-ass posts up, and I put simple requests only. Head profile. Give me a fucking character. Say the character's name. Here's what you're getting, a profile. And I get like a paragraph description. Well, I'd like Psylocke, but I don't want Psylocke doing this. I want Psylocke doing this with a gauntlet hand and this and that. And I always give him grief because he's that one guy that it makes me do that extra little bit of work with the artist. See? That's funny.
All right, man. It has been awesome. Thank you so much for being on tonight. Guys, fans, watching the show right now, you guys have been amazing. I know Steven said it earlier, but thank you so much for watching tonight. We will be back next week. Steven, I'll be hitting you up later on this week as well.
Sounds good.
Have a great night, everyone. And there's one more.
I'm going to mess your head up. The only people that call me Steven is my wife and my mother. So now you get to try to learn how to call me Steve.
Jesus.
Good luck with that.
Good luck with that indeed. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, we're out of here. Night, buddy.
Thanks, Mark. Did Lewis still want me or no?